Sorry. Okay, hey everyone. Welcome to tonight. We've got our team here, and then we have a guest and very good friend of mine, Terry Olson, is joining us tonight. We've known each other, seems like forever. So welcome, Terry. And I want to thank everyone for taking time out of their evening tonight. We're going to explore the future look at new possibilities in health and wealth with William Friedman. That's coming up a little bit later, but I want to introduce myself. I'm Darleen Dozier, and my other good friend Gloria is the one that got me started with ASEA. So I'm forever grateful for her. I just kind of joined in January of this year, so I'm relatively new, but each and every day I get more and more excited about redox, what it's doing for me, my family, and my animals. So a little background on me quickly. I got my degrees. I'm a registered nurse, and then I also went and got another degree in exercise physiology. So I started in nursing, and I just realized my focus wasn't illness, it was wellness. And I think that was after I got done working at a pain management clinic while I was also teaching fitness classes. And that's what got me excited to go back to school and study exercise physiology. And so from there, I finally found my path in wellness and the opportunities. And if you just keep yourself open and explore everything out there, I feel like that's what ASEA has done for me now. It's amazing. I've always done sports. I've competed in sports. And so I've had a lot of injuries along the way because of that. I also competed in AQHA, which is quarter horse showing, for a number of years, and traveled all over the country and to Australia. So anytime, as all of you know, any of us that work around horses, we get beat up with that too. After I got done showing, I then started barrel racing. So that's kind of gives me or gives you a picture of who I am. And we live on a farm. We raise a lot of animals. So that leads me into what I want to discuss with you tonight, which is my Leia kitty. And she is really the reason I started using ASEA. And I want to present, if you want to put the picture up of Leia, Gloria. So this is Leia kitty. She's 17 now, so she's not a young kitty. And Leia, if you want to go to the next slide, Gloria, Leia presented in 2019. She was a very, very sick kitty that had a respiratory situation that required her to be at the veterinary for a period of time. They weren't really able to do a lot for her. I brought her home very congested, couldn't eat. We had to hand feed her. So if you go to the next picture, Gloria, I think you'll see Leia when she first started.
You want me to play that?
Yeah, well, just the next picture. There should be another picture of Leia when she was sitting.
It's got the first two. I must have missed one.
Oh, did you miss it? No, I think it's the next one. I see it on your slide there before the video.
This one?
Next one down. Anyway, Leia, we had to
I'm showing the wrong slideshow. So here we go. Is that the one you're seeing?
There's that.
Now you're in play mode.
There we go. There's Leia. So this is after bringing Leia home. They really couldn't do anything for her. Very congested. I had to steam her 2 to 3 times a day so she could breathe. Well, you know, when cats can't breathe and smell, they don't eat. So we hand fed her for a probably about 3 weeks, I would say. And this is when she actually started eating on her own. So we had made progress. You can go ahead and start the video now, Gloria, if you want, and I'll talk through that. So she got through that and she got well. And what you're seeing here is now is how I give her the redox. And I give this to her every morning. And she she usually does a little better than that. But I give her probably, I want to say it's about a half an ounce is all she's getting. When we first began it, I was also putting it up her nostrils because they were very congested. And she had a lot of discharge. So when we started the ASEA, the first thing she started doing was what was mucus and kind of snotty became chunks of things. She started sneezing out rather large chunks. And from there, she just got better and better. So what I do is I start that in the morning, and then I put the Renew 28, I rub that on her nose and on her forehead. And so here she is at 17. She was a very sick kitty, and we tried absolutely everything to make her well, and nothing worked until I started using the Redox and the Renew 28, and it has changed her life. And she can breathe, she can purr, she is just a very happy kitty, and we're so grateful. And does anybody have any questions?
Is she eating on her own now?
Oh yeah, she's been eating on her own. That was the first picture you saw was in the summer of 2019, and she started eating on her own. But what happened was during that time, she started eating on her own, but the congestion started building. So my thoughts are, because we didn't go through the process of having any exams up through her nasal cavity. I thought that was too severe. And at her age, I didn't want to go down that path. But the congestion, I think there was some scarring and whatnot in there. And I think that's why when I got her on the Redox, that broke that up. And I will say before that, she would go to her food, but she couldn't really smell it. Today, now, after using this on her for about 2 months, she's getting her smell back finally, which is really obviously important to a cat.
And how old is she?
She's 17.
She's a pretty old kitty cat then. She's doing really well.
She's doing really well, very well.
So we always hear about dog years, right? I don't ever hear about cat years, but it must be similar, right? So Leia is 17, and dog years, that's like 119.
Yeah.
That's something. The
Yeah.
eyes are so clear and clean, and yeah, congratulations. That's very exciting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, cats actually do tend to live a little bit longer than dogs. I've had a few go up to 20, so they do have a little more longevity.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if they're house cats and taken well care of.
You're obviously doing that. Well done.
Well, thank you to ASEA, really. I mean, it was a huge breakthrough.
Thank you, Darleen.
You're welcome. Is there any more questions? Okay, if not, I want to hand you off to Marian. She's going to introduce the next segment of tonight.
Yeah, there we go. Here we go.
I want to introduce my friend William. He is an amazing man. He was a professional baseball player, and I'm excited to hear his ASEA story as far as health. But also, this man, he wears so many hats. He has a garden center. He has a wellness center. And in his spare time, he is building one of the largest building projects in Sandpoint for low-income housing. And he runs an international ASEA business. He is a trainer. He is a coach. He's just a wonderful friend. And William, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Wow, Marian, that's an amazing introduction. Thank you. Not sure I deserve all that, but you're very kind. Let me ask the first question. How much time do I have, or would you like me to use?
I'm thinking 15, 20 minutes. We want to have
Okay.
testimony and where you think ASEA is going and vision.
Sure,
So,
sure.
yeah.
I'll keep it a little shorter than that, so we make sure Marcia has enough time to speak and anyone else. So thanks. Like Marian said, I live up in Sandpoint, Idaho. I've been involved with ASEA and this amazing family and this incredible project for more than 8 years. I guess I'll start by saying I remember what my life was like all those years ago. I spent, after doing too many crazy things with my body, I paid the price later on. And when I started to pay the price, it got to the point where I could no longer lift my arm to put it on the steering wheel. I was a pitcher when I played ball, and I could no longer really walk very well. I spent about 5 years trying to find alternatives to anything radical like major surgeries. And, a few things helped for a little while, but only a little. But really, my life had reached a point to where I lost the quality of life. I remember one of my favorite things to do was to go hiking in the mountains with my son. And I couldn't do that anymore. In fact, it affected the relationship with my children. My inability to really move around well affected my relationship with my wife. And I can tell you, I really was almost to the point of giving up and really wanted to do everything I could to, get my quality of life back. So I had surgery, 2 different surgeries a week apart, 2 different surgeons. The guy that worked on my shoulder was one of the top guys in the country working on shoulders like mine, and he did a great job. My shoulder was fine after that. I also had surgery on my hip, again, about the same time, and it didn't work. It provided no benefit for me whatsoever. They thought it might give me another 5 or 8 years before I'd have to have entire hip replacement. So I spent about another 1.5 years trying to find anything and everything I could do to avoid a hip replacement. I looked at stem cells, I tried injections, and it just, stem cells weren't quite there yet. They're still not on that particular joint. And the injections were just a short-lived few days worth of, being able to move and not have complete, pain. So I eventually decided that I would give up and sign up to get a new hip. Thankfully, 2 weeks before that surgery was already scheduled, I'd gone through my pre-op work. I met an amazing 2 gentlemen, Jerry White and Marcia, his wife, is on with us, and Dr. Richard Walker. And I just happened to be at a place where they were at in Spokane at some kind of an event. And I learned about ASEA actually for the second time. The first time 7 months earlier from a friend, and I completely discounted it. But now I have an MD and a researcher telling me about this new science in a way that really kind of blew my mind. Ultimately, what they suggested was that I postpone my hip replacement just long enough to give it a good 90-day trial. It seemed like a good idea to me. I'd never heard of the science. It made no sense to me, but it was pretty easy to understand that it couldn't harm me in any way. It was safe and didn't contradict with anything else I might be doing. So I decided, what the heck? I called my surgeon, postponed it. He thought I was completely nuts. And he says, you'll be calling me back. I said, well, just 90 days and we'll see. And so I started drinking 8 ounces a day, and I was waiting. In fact, Somebody called me, a gal named Cheryl, who ended up being a really good friend of mine. I didn't know her at the time, and asked me a month in what I thought. And I said, I haven't noticed anything, related to my hip. That's the only thing I really cared about. I did notice, which I didn't share with her, that I had a lot more energy. Mental clarity was off the charts. I was sleeping better than I had in a lot of years, but that's not why I wanted to use ASEA. And so for me, it was 62 days to the day. On that 62nd day, I woke up, and it pretty much blew my mind. It took me a number of days to realize that it's better, right? It's not just a temporary thing. So guys, after that, shortly thereafter, I realized I got my life back. I could go hiking with my son again. I could do all the things I love to do, golf and bike and what have you. The relationship I had with my wife improved dramatically. I could take the garbage out to the garbage can and not worry about it. And literally I could start running again. I picked up all the mobility I'd lost. It kind of blew me away. I remember one day saying to my wife, Kathy, I said, "Do you think it's the stuff?" I had no idea that it could, I really thought anyone that has a joint issue needs to know about this stuff, right? And boy, did I learn later when I started giving it to other family members and friends that it wasn't just for joints. It was for anything anyone has going on. And as I sit before you today, I've helped many hundreds, probably thousands of people discover this technology. It's pretty rare in life that we have an opportunity. Probably I think the biggest challenge for all of us is to sort of weed through everything that we see in the world, right? Because everything seems to be a breakthrough this and a breakthrough that. When I started digging into the research of this, I realized that it was 25 years in the making, right? Studied and worked with at top universities like Harvard, Stanford, UCLA, and many others. And top researchers were saying this could be the future of healthcare, right? And literally what we have our hands on, and our job, and I think my job here on this earth, is to make a difference in people's lives. And so it's to help people understand that the power of healing, right, has changed. There's a new way and a new discovery that changes everything. I mean, literally everything, right? I remember Dr. Samuelson saying, we have to spread this technology as far and wide and as fast as possible. He's the atomic medical physicist that sort of figured out the stabilization. Guys, this is a legacy discovery that will help all of us. It has arrived at a certainly challenging time in our world. I don't think by any accident. If we think about the things that are happening in the world and the toxins in our environment and our food and everything else, our bodies are breaking down because our cells are breaking down. And even at the genetic level, our gene signaling is being compromised. These breakdowns in our bodies are signaling processes that lead to and are the cause of most health issues. It's a technology that is hard to believe, right? It's a technology that in a lot of ways still belongs to tomorrow. I still hear comments where people say it's 10 or maybe even 15 years still ahead of its time, but it's here, and it's creating shifts, big shifts in the human body that allows the body to heal itself like we've never seen before. And to be able to push genetic buttons in the body, and the chemistry is responding in a healthy and beautiful way, right? This material reminds our cells how to work and the way they did when we were a lot younger. And we can now say that our biology is no longer our biography. That's not me that said that. It was Anne Louise Gettleman, a PhD that lives very near all of us, probably in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So listen, as I wrap up here, this is it's a new paradigm. It's something that everybody absolutely needs to know about. I was in a conversation just a couple of days with someone that reached out to over 100 people in just a few days. And I was so proud of her. She was a little discouraged because she says, there was only 1 or 2 people that were interested. And I said, that's not the point. The point is to let people know this exists. That's our job. we're not here to sell anything or convince anyone of anything, because if that was what it was, I wouldn't be doing it. It's strictly to let people know that this exists, and then they can decide for themselves. So I'll be happy to answer any questions, and Marian, I'll kick it back to you.
Thank you. I just love to be be a student under you and just listen as you as a businessman and a person who's experienced this personally. Are there any questions for William?
And you have to understand, you know, in the 8 years I've been involved, I mentioned hundreds, probably more, like many, many thousands of people. So I've seen a lot of things, right? I've personally witnessed this save people. I've personally witnessed it change people's lives in ways that were unimaginable, right? Where people had lost all hope. There was no hope. So, you know, my belief in this technology is over the top. It's over the top because there's really no one that this won't benefit. In fact, my granddaughter's visiting tonight. She's almost 4. She's been on it with her mom before she was born, and she gets her to see it every day. So, you know, our entire family's on it. Our pets are on it. Darleen, thanks for your wonderful introduction and sharing their story about what you're doing. And yeah, really exciting.
So, William, did you stay at 8 ounces all this time?
I did, yeah. Now, let me just preface this by saying, guys, if I'm going to go get on an airplane, I'll start doing 16 ounces a day, 3 or 4 days before I get on that plane. And if I'm traveling, I'm staying in hotels and stuff, I take more than 8, between 12 and 16 while I'm out, right? If I notice some of our staff might be coming down with colds, or occasionally the flu shows up, right? And other interesting things, we will double up. Kathy and I will double up. We'll do 16. So we sort of fluctuate, but mostly we do 8 ounces a day.
Okay, if you have other questions, perhaps William can stay around for a few minutes, and I'm going to turn it over to Gloria. Does that work for you?
You got to jump in.
Yeah, I'd like to take a moment to introduce our next speaker, which I'm so grateful for, Marcia White. She is a wife, and she's a mother, and she's a Grammie, and she's also a retired teacher. She taught all of her kids at homeschool, but she also taught in the traditional school. What's really impressive to me is what she has accomplished in her life with her health. She's an Ironman athlete, and she's also a very experienced next level marketing person. So handing it over to you, Marcia. You're on mute, Marcia.
Sorry about that. I have to just real quick, William was saying his 4-year-old, you know, grandson is on ASEA. And a couple of weeks ago, we have some grandkids in town, and they got picked up a bug, you know, and they shared it with Grammie. And I was talking with my 4-year-old, and she said, Grammie, make sure you take double your magic water. They learn early that you hit the magic water quick when you've got a little challenge come by. You know, as I was listening to William and his testimony, and I just remembered back when the first time you were on stage, William, at a convention, and you were just still so almost starry-eyed at how you could move your hip and your flexibility, and showing us all on stage. And it was just such a miracle to see. And that when you see that glow and that sparkle in somebody's eyes when they have accomplished something, either health-wise, financially, socially, from the benefits of this product, it's like, how can we not be sharing this? Because we're changing lives in so many different ways. And we're doing it with an ethos and integrity that is beyond any company I've ever seen. One thing that's a little bit different about ASEA as a company, we haven't talked about the company that much today, but a lot of, no, not a lot. I'd say 90% or more, probably more, probably 99%. I don't know a fact there, but network marketing companies are designed by a group of people get together and they say, let's make a network marketing company. And then they brainstorm and they figure out what product shall we use in our network marketing company? What will be our road, the product that's going to take us where we want to go. Well, ASEA was the opposite of that. We had an incredible product. Virtus had an incredible product, the team there, that they knew was life-changing. They had put it on people. They actually were hoping to sell it to a pharmaceutical company. They met with that pharmaceutical company. They had a legacy offer, a financial offer to buy the product ASEA, but they said that we had to take it off of all the people that were using it. Well, a lot of these people were Virtus's friends, Virtus Norton, our founder, and he knew that they would not probably live if he took this product away from him. And so he said, no, I'm going to make a difference. I have a financial legacy for my family. I'm going to have a legacy that is changing the world. And we're going to keep it and we're going to get it out to the world, but didn't know how to do that. Well, how do we do this? This product is made out of salt and water are the two ingredients in our redox, our liquid. And, you put it on the shelf in a pharmacy or something and somebody takes it off and it says salt and water. Who's going to buy that? Nobody, because it doesn't, how can you, I mean, it's already like unimaginable. Like William was saying, he just couldn't imagine that stuff was really making those differences in his life. And so they looked around for what was the best way to distribute this product to the most people around the world. And so they discovered, somebody mentioned network marketing to them. They didn't know much about it, didn't know anything about it, but decided that was the way that we could get this product out to the most people so that their lives and their health could be benefited, their finances could be benefited, their communities could be benefited. And that's what they've chose to do. And they put that mission out to us now as individuals to get out there and share that with as many people as we can. And we've been fortunate, Jerry and I'm going to just share my screen real quick here and pull up a little, let's see if I can find it real quick. I like visuals. Let's see, I had it here earlier today. Sorry, here. Golly, I had it up once today, so I thought it would be right at the top. Golly, I'm sorry here. My last date opened because I opened it today. That's weird. Oh, here we go. Can you see my screen?
No,
Nope.
no.
I got to stop it, come back to it just a second here because it took me a second to find it. Okay, now let's see if we can get lucky. All right, that is not what I wanted. Stop here. Let me click again. I'm sorry. Try it one more time here. Why is this coming up? I don't want that one.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, can you see it now? Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to go through this really quick because we have this incredible company we've heard about. And what if it's really real? What if it can change your life like it did our family's life? William talked real quick about, or not real quick, but he talked about, what it's done for his body. And some of the things it's done for our family are, life-changing. We will not be without it. Our kids won't be without it. Their friends won't be without it. And just some of the real quickly, what's gone on with our family. I broke my wrist and it came back and I was exercising, doing things on it at a much faster rate than, you would expect. It's allowed us to enjoy working out with, our grandbabies and keep up with them. My son cut his fingers with a table saw, bleeding profusely, poured the ASEA on it. The bleeding stopped instantly. And he's got full use of those fingers. I have some scar tissue in my lungs. And I've overcome some breathing challenges to be able to do the things I do physically now. Now my husband and I are competing in triathlons together. Like Gloria said, I completed my first full Ironman this last November at 63, something if you asked me even 2 years ago, would I ever attempt it, let alone finish it, I would have said, no way. And like I said, all our babies, this one is the one that's 4 and told me, Grammie, take extra magic water. The kids take it every night. But those are a few of the things that we've done physically. I mean, it's just scrapes the top of the iceberg. Most recently, I thought I was going to have to get a root canal on a tooth, which from what I've learned, I don't really want to do. So I thought, okay, I'm going to just start putting some serum, our Redox, our highest concentrated Redox product. I'm going to just put some serum every night, every morning on my gums around that tooth. I don't have any discomfort now a week later. So, your imagination is your limitation. But then as you start to learn this physically what happens, a lot of us have forgotten how to dream in our life. And a dream is a vision voluntarily indulged in while awake, a daydream. Some of us, we can handle dreaming about maybe feeling better someday, maybe getting that surgery on your hip, maybe, you can think about, well, maybe I could be feeling better. There's options I can do because there's so many things out there in the world. But very few of us, at a certain point, our dreams about what we can do financially with our family start to decrease or start to just kind of shut them off, put them in the background for a lot of people. And for some people, it might be that they just can't dream about can't figure out how they're going to pay the bill the next month. Some people, maybe it's a little bigger, how they're going to be able to give to the charities they want to give to. Whatever it is, we stop thinking and letting those dreams grow like we did when we were young. And even some of my kids' friends that are in their 20s, and they're just kind of like, they don't have a big explosive dream life anymore. And it's so sad to see that not happen. And with ASEA, it's allowed us, our dreams, we couldn't start out when we first started, we couldn't think beyond, paying the Costco bill, a big splurge. I got Skinny Pop, but that was a dream to think a little bit more, hey, we can do that. But ASEA has allowed our family financially to do things we never dreamed of. And we were able to dream so that we could dream of those things. We used to have a Prius, and my son and husband would camp in the back of the Prius, sleep in the back of the Prius at swim meets because we couldn't afford the hotel. Here's actually Williams in this picture and his wife, Kathy. Now we have a motorhome that we can travel. And this was a really fun time for a convention. A bunch of us took our motorhomes and stayed in the KOA together and caravan back home. It was great. It was walkers and William and Kathy and us, and we had a great time. Never would have dreamed that 10 years ago we would be doing that. I used to think, what am I going to do with my girls? I got 2 girls that are marriage age. How are we going to pay for their weddings? I just couldn't get beyond thinking, okay, it's going to be a picnic in the backyard and their dress up clothes because there's no money for the dress they want to, get or whatever. But both girls got married within 6 months of each other. And, those weddings were paid for. There wasn't a debt involved in that, thanks to ASEA. And they were able to have the weddings that they dreamed of in those backyard weddings that they used to do. This is one of the biggest things we did. My mother-in-law lived up in Old Town, Idaho in a single wide trailer. And we'd go up there and she'd be dressed in 5 layers of clothes and wouldn't put on, the heat because she didn't want to pay the bill and stuff. And so we were able to, with ASEA, move her down to Spokane, close to us, in a gorgeous 55 and older community that has, outdoors exit, but an indoor to the hallways where she can walk down, get the dinner. not care about it. And within a week of having moved her down there, she says, I think I want to live again. And that's the kind of dreams that ASEA and the things that ASEA has allowed us to do that we would have never imagined we could have gotten her out of that living situation that she was in before. And there she is, happy now, excited about life, just enjoying her grandbaby, her great grandbabies. We also had a, when we started with ASEA, we weren't real financially solvent, but we had been back in the 1990, we built our own house. It was a log house. We built it. Jerry spent a lot of evenings, a lot of weekends, a lot of time down here. Kids would come down, we'd camp in the house so we could be down by Dad. But because of the way things happened, we had to sell the house. But with ASEA, we were able to 4 years ago, and the memories that were made here, kids in their shack and just playing, having a great time. But we had to sell the house. But with ASEA, 4 years ago, it came back on the market and we were able to buy it back. So we're back in the house that my husband built, where my kids have their early childhood memories on 60 acres out here. And never in my wildest dreams figured that's where we'd be 10 years ago. That was not what I was thinking was going to happen. But because of ASEA, we've been able to help improve our family health, improve so that we can take care of the place, for one thing. We couldn't have done that, I don't think, 10 years ago at the rate we were going. But we've been able to bring back the kids here. They have great memories here. Our oldest son, who's kind of strayed, is coming back because this is where he grew up. It's been pretty incredible that we've been able to have that financial opportunity while helping so many people gain their health, their finances, and a community like this group of people that are on here tonight. It's a community, and boy, in these day and age, it's hard to find a good community to be a part of. And ASEA people got big hearts, big integrity, and I wouldn't give them away for anything. But as we've gone through, these are memories that we've built now back at this home. But I wanted to share with you what we put together at the beginning, that what we wanted to do with ASEA. And we wanted to live an amazing life full of adventure and gratitude to God. We wanted to be with people we love and care about. Both of these have been checked off. Making a bigger difference together than we ever could by ourselves. And it's amazing what this group of people and a team that we've built in ASEA, what we've been able to do. Get some recognition for the good things that we do. It's good to be recognized and to recognize others. But our biggest thing we wanted to do was to make enough money to be done with us so that we could concentrate on the things that matter most in life. And for us, that's things that are really important are our family and being able to give back to others. And, we've been able to, in a year, been able to give to so many charities that we never thought we could do when we were just trying to get food on the table. We were able to give, to our school, to veterans, to Circuit Riders, which is the organization that our daughter and son-in-law are full-time missionaries with. Giving to an orphanage that is for special needs kids. We support them pretty heavily. The University of the Nations is a group called YWAM, if you've ever heard of that. Just so many things that we never thought we would ever be able to do. So I'm going to stop my share there. What I would say to you is, oh shoot, I'm missing here. There we go. You've come here with a purpose, with a reason tonight. And that reason was probably to find out what is ASEA, to hear somebody else's opinion of what is about ASEA, that maybe, other than the person that has told you about it before, just to kind of, hey, are they really on the right page? Because this is pretty crazy stuff. To find out if we have a company with integrity and the heart of our company, which is second to none. And so now you've got a decision to make. Do you want to be a part of ASEA, and what part is it going to have for you in your life? So I'm going to share my screen here real quick again, because like I said, I like visuals. Golly, had this all, you would never know I had this all keyed up here earlier today. Okay, there we go. Can you see that? No? Yes?
No, just
No.
your highlights.
Okay, let me go back and start again. Okay, now you can, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so now you get to, you know, we've got great products. We talked about those. But what part do you want ASEA to be in your life? And what part do you want to be of ASEA? Do you want to be a consumer, one that just, you know, uses the products? That's great. There's lots of people that want to do that. You know, you just have an interest in living younger, longer, experiencing better health, and you want to get retail or wholesale pricing. Or maybe you wanted to have the ability to share this with some of your friends, which you can get wholesale pricing. Then you can help others with their health and well-being. You can get special promotions, and you can earn money to pay for your products, or even make an income to pay for maybe a car payment or a college payment, something like that. Or maybe you want to really, you know, shoot for the moon and work your own hours from home and build maybe a national or global team and financial freedom that most only dream of. It's your choice, whatever fits your family at this point in time. And it can change as your family is changing and growing and going through different seasons. Before we talk about what our products are and how to get them, I want to make sure you have to set correct expectations. I think you remember William, he talked about giving it a 90-day or 3-month trial before he would reschedule his surgery. And that's what we recommend most people do, because as you can see on this chart, you know, very few people in 1 week are going to see or feel a really significant change. But by the end of 3 months, you know, 95% or more of the people are going to see or feel a significant change that will keep them going. You know, if William had stopped at a month, remember he said he hadn't felt anything really then, he would have had a hip replacement back then. Who knows, you know, when he'd be looking at another hip replacement. I don't know if they can do 2 on 1 person, but, you know, life wouldn't have been the quality that he talked about. So we really recommend that people commit for at least those 90 days. You have nothing to worry about. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So, you know, if you're on here tonight and you're thinking, oh, maybe I should, you know what, I should probably read some more up about this. Go ahead and order some product, because you know what, if 28 days from now you say that was stupid, I shouldn't have done that, you can get your money back. And so there really isn't a risk. And for most people, you're really not going to believe what this product does until you feel it yourself. So really recommend you just get started. Choices are to be a preferred customer, which is one who gets wholesale pricing. You would not have the ability to share and get a financial thank you from the company if you share with a friend. But at any time you could move to the associate level. As a preferred customer, you can buy any of the products that we have. And your enrollment perk is, depending upon how much product you buy, you can get for future, if you sign up with a subscription order where you get product every month, you can get points, LRP, those are called, towards free product. And just to give you an example, 50 LRP would give you 2 free bottles of ASEA. So it's quite significant. If you decide to be an associate, one who will possibly build a future business and you want the ability to share the products with other people and get some financial remuneration for that, then there's some great perks for you. ASEA has put together some packs, and the person who invited you here You know, when you look at here, it's like 12 packs. Oh, that's overwhelming. I don't know which one is best for me. But the person that invited you here, you've shared a little bit about yourself, what your needs are, and they can help you narrow that down to 1 or 2 choices, and you can decide which one is best for your family. You'll see that there are more perks at the associate level when you sign up. You still get those LRP points, but you're also going to be receiving free samples of the Renew 28, depending upon which level is how many you'll get. And you'll be at this in entrepreneur level, you'll get free enrollment, which is a $40 value. And so that gives you perks. So your Renew 28 samples and your enrollment come up to $155 in savings right there. But then you'll also receive 150 of your LRP, which is like a case and a half of free product. So this is really, it's about $350 worth of savings. And you can see the perks, and the person who invited you here can explain those in more detail to you. Associates can also create their own pack. You don't have to get one of the packs that ASEA had there, or maybe you want to get one of them, but you want to get maybe 2 batch or enough ASEA Via nutritionals for 2 people. So you could just add those extra products here to your order. We have a monthly order, a subscription. We recommend you do this because, well, for many reasons. One, it keeps you in a constant supply of product, because if you want to get those results like William did, he took his product consistently. And so if you have it scheduled, it will be coming to your house consistently. You know, often a person will use a case, maybe 2 cases a month. So, you know, then after every 4 weeks, you'll get a subscription order. It'll be at your house ready to go when you need it. You can choose any product that ASEA has for that subscription order, and you can change that product at any time. The other benefit of subscription orders is you will earn more of those LRP points or loyalty reward points with each order. This is just a quick recap of where you can get the best pricing and the benefits of each level. Are there any questions that anybody would have about how you would order product or any of that? Okay, great. Well, if you are a guest on here tonight, I know we have a couple, then be sure and get back with the person that invited you here, and you can discuss with them what the best way and which purchasing option is best for you to get started. And, you know, as a friend of mine says, you know, what do you got to lose? Not much, because there's that money back guarantee, and you have a whole lot to gain, especially if you were William and you avoid that hip surgery and get the quality of life that he had. So back to you, Gloria. I think it was.
All right. Well, Beth, if you'd like to unmute, I'll share my screen here.
There we go. Well, I would certainly like to thank Darleen for sharing her information and healing of her cat, and William for your amazing story of healing your body and your hip, and that's just so cool. And Marcia, thank you so much for sharing with us about the company and the amazing journey that you and your family has had, and the encouragement that you have for the rest of us. And those that are on the call tonight that are guests, I encourage you to get together with those that invited you. And also tomorrow at 3:30, we're going to have another guest, and that is Masami Hanloff. She is going to be talking to us about Survive to Thrive. What does freedom look like for you? And she has owned a multi-health clinic for 37 years, was a massage therapist for 27, and she now has been retired for 8 years from that. She owns a Japanese anti-aging company in the US for 10 years. Masami is a wife with 2 wonderful kids and has been an entrepreneur since she was very young. She was born in Japan and raised, and she, when she was 25, she came to the US to have a different lifestyle. So we're excited to see what she has to say for us tomorrow. It's a Zoom call. The number is 509-876-1802, and the password is healthy. And we hope to see you all there tomorrow.
Thank you, Beth. And thank you, all of you, for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate your time. And again, thank you to Marcia and William. So we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Wish you all the best. I know Masami, she is amazing. You do not want to miss Masami. I have the pleasure of meeting with her every week on Zoom because I'm in Idaho and she's in California, but love her to death. You guys are in for a real treat. Thanks, Marcia. Thanks, Marian, and thanks all of you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
Good evening.